Hi, folks. Rick here. Let Facebook Live on this Thursday, July 2nd. Can you imagine we're halfway through the year? Pretty amazing. But here's the good news. You still have half the year ahead of you. So are you a glass half empty or half full type person? I think what's happened recently, you should all be being a glass half full type person because your MLS numbers and transactions and everything have picked up. And today, we are very lucky from Arizona, formerly of the Northwest office, now Scottsdale, Curtis Mitchell. Curtis, welcome. Before I do that, I want to say he finished number 3, him and his father, their team, in their office, and they were number 24 out of all people. You know, like I said, we have almost 1,100 agents in Arizona, so congratulations for last year.
Thank you.
And you're ahead. You're on a pace to beat last year, aren't you?
We are on a good pace this year. Yeah, it's been a crazy year, but we're still closing some deals and having some fun while we're doing it.
Been a crazy year in a lot of ways for you, but we'll get into that in a second. Crazy good. So tell us a little about, so first tell me a little about yourself, and your father and your team, maybe a little bit about your transaction numbers and where you're headed this year, and then we'll get into some specific questions, please.
Cool. Okay, so I am Curtis Mitchell. We have the Mitchell Group here, Gearland office. We are a father-son team. So my dad's been doing business since probably 2003, I think, is when he got his license. So a little bit, 17 years or so. I'm going on 8 years. So I got my license pretty much right out of college. I went to school in Denver. I had a basketball scholarship, so I'm diehard sports, and got a marketing degree. Didn't know what I was going to do when I graduated. So my dad was like, hey, get your real estate license. And this was in 2011 when I graduated. So I got my license 2012, and we formed our little team and have been growing ever since. So now we have 3 other agents under us. So there's 5 of us total. And transaction wise, we did about 40 deals last year. We just hired, last year was when we really started to grow. So we hired our transaction coordinator and then 2 other agents, kind of the end of last year. So this is our first full year with, everyone on board. And so yeah, we did 40 deals. I think I can't remember, we were 13 million, something like that, 14 million in volume.
That sounds about right.
Yeah. So then this year we just hit our 25th closing. So we're definitely on track to beat that last year's goal anyways. And yeah, so we're doing good, and it's been awesome.
So if you have the same 6 months, which you won't, because it'll probably be better, because you'll have remember, having a first half of this year is like dragging a 50 or 100-pound weight around with you everywhere. It's still happening. It's just a little harder, right?
Yeah.
But the next 6 months, well, before we do that, tell us a little about your pace. I mean, you still are ahead of last year's pace, and things are still happening for you, right?
Yes. Yeah. We had I think everybody did a little blip in the market when things got a little crazy, but I think Arizona bounced back pretty solid, if not even better than before. Inventory is really low, so that makes it tough for buyers, but luckily we've had some listings and things are selling right away. We listed one on Monday. We got 5 offers, and we're going to go accept something this morning. So if we can get some listings and keep it up, we should end the year pretty good. So.
Right. And so tell them what you and I talk about all the time that I know you'd be incredibly good at, that would bring a tremendous amount of inventory. That's something you're going to start doing soon. What is that?
Yeah, I keep saying
Mr.
that,
Mitchell?
but I haven't really dove in yet. But yeah, old expireds, that's what I need to start doing. And I know you keep telling me every single week, every other week, that I need to start doing that. And it's a good idea right now because, when things didn't sell a couple years ago, the market was definitely different. Prices were lower. And now, since inventory is so low and people are just getting value, which is crazy.
Yeah.
And they're listing houses. So.
And when you do any type of prospecting, especially if they're watching the media, they don't think anything's going on right now because, they think that, it's people are paralyzed about real estate. They're not. Look at the job just came up. The unemployment rate just came out. They were expecting it to do way worse. Again, shocking. Could you imagine being somebody that predicts the economy, being wrong all the time and still making money? You run your business that way?
Great.
I think it's just hilarious. I was wrong again, but I still cashed my check on Friday. Right? You can't do that. You'd be wrong all the time. You'd be out of business. But anyway, enough about that. But so there's more jobs were created. So we're down to, I think, 11% unemployment, which is still not tremendous, but it's not 20 they predicted we'd be at by now, or half that. Okay, so inventory's going down, like you just mentioned. Transactions are happening, and I also think, just so you know, I think, and because we had our coaching call this week, that if you start your pipeline now, I believe the third and the fourth quarter are going to be good. But I think next year is going to be one of those years that you'll talk, especially you. How old are you now? 29, 28?
31.
31. You just look 29, 28.
Yeah.
I knew. I was just giving you a hard time. And we got some more exciting news to bring them in a second. But if you prospect now and fill that pipeline like we're talking about with old expireds, 2021 is going to be one of those years you're going to be back 30 years from now going, I remember 2021, right? I'm telling you, it will be one of those years for you, especially who knows your market, great attitude, especially you and your father and the whole team. You guys got a tremendous team. You have people producing.
We do. I know. And I think we've been really good about, I don't want to say choosing the right people, but just surrounding ourselves with good, employees and team members. And we're definitely a team atmosphere, and we all look out for each other and love to work together, and it makes it fun. So we enjoy it.
Yeah, and you got Michelle. You share a wall with Michelle there, and you've got Donna, Michelle Bugiano, Donna Belgram. Yeah, it's a great office. You have some really good producers there too.
I love this office here. Yeah, not any knock on Northwest, because I love Northwest too. But
yeah, Robert is the man. Let's face it.
Kierland's a little bit different, but that's fun.
Yeah, and so I'm just saying, I'm putting you on notice here. This is going to be on my YouTube channel forever. Okay, that if you do that for the next 6 months, and you've got some wonderful distractions about to happen too, with the exception of that, and we'll get to that in a second, that will be one of those years that you'll always remember for a number of reasons. Okay, so let's get into that for a second. You have a wonderful you have a wonderful situation happening next month. Tell me a little about that. That's exciting.
So we are expecting our first child in August. So we are less than 6 weeks away on paper. Who knows what's going to happen? Right. But yeah, little boy, and we are absolutely thrilled.
That's that's awesome, man. Congratulations again.
Yeah, as far as work goes, towards the end of the year, I might take a little bit of time off, but it'll be all right. Yeah.
You should. Now's the perfect time to sprint for another few weeks so you can create that time for yourself.
Yeah, that's the goal. So just knock out the next couple months, hit it hard, and then relax for the end of the year.
Yep. All right, good. All right, so 40 deals last year, on pace for 50 or more. I'm going to guess you guys will probably get close to 60, if not over that, especially with some of the way your team members are starting to gel now because, like you said, it takes a while for them to gel. But tell us, so how do you guys do your business? Where does it come from? Tell us about your lead sources, all that good stuff.
So the biggest thing for us is sphere of influence. Since my dad's been doing it a little while, he's been in Arizona for, I think he moved here in the mid 80s, and I'm born and raised in Arizona. So our sphere is pretty big, and we really try to focus on the sphere. I mean, number one, sphere, and we really try to take care of, the people that help us most, and that's friends, family. I mean, referrals. We get quite a few referrals, and our motto is to serve you like family. So we really try to think of this as a little family business, and we try to, serve everybody. We're in the service business at the end of the day, and we really take that to heart. And I think that makes a big difference because there's a lot of agents that aren't very good as far as, first off, just knowing the business for one, but then also just at the end of the day, it's all about the commission check for them. And for us, we really want to make this a long-term business, and that's really helped us. So we really try to, make our calls. I like to send a lot of handwritten cards. That's definitely top of my list of just.
Even seeds. You even send seeds in the mail.
And it works like crazy. I mean, everyone loves it. So Mother's Day, we always send a little packet of seeds, like flower seeds in the mail. And I'm not kidding. We've gotten more business from that alone, from wives and mothers going like, oh my gosh, thank you so much for the flowers. And I like the personal touch on things. We always send Christmas cards and anniversary cards for their house anniversaries and all that kind of stuff. So to me, that's pretty important. And we really try to focus on the, just the friendship.
Personal side. Well, tell them about like when you and I started working together, all the boxes in the office. Remember the boxes? Tell them about the boxes and how you went through those.
Yeah, well, my dad was doing it obviously way back in 2005 and stuff. He did quite a bit of business, and he wasn't, I wouldn't say very good about following up and keeping in contact with past clients. And that's something that I really try to take to heart when we started this business, or when I got involved anyways, just to stay in touch with people, because I mean, those are the ones that are going to come back 2, 3, 4 years later that say, hey, now it's time to upgrade, or now it's time to downsize, or my kids are buying houses now. So I went through all of his old files and boxes and wrote names down and contact info of all of his past closings. And I had boxes, like big file boxes, just full of paperwork, and went through all that and talked to a lot of people that he hadn't talked to in a while. And I truly believe like that's part of the reason why we get quote unquote random phone calls from people that just decided to sell or buy or something like that. And we really, I try to anyways, to make that a really important part of our business, just to follow up with past clients and take people to lunches and just really truly be more than just, I'm your real estate agent. I want to be like kind of involved in your life and stuff like that. So
that's true. I love that. It's a get involved in their life. You treat them like family. That's a really good slogan too. All right. And like you said, your father, let's put it this way. And I tell agents all that, especially your father, been since 2004, 16 years ago, 17 years ago. When you're getting repeat and referral business and you're not calling your people, as soon as you start calling them, within 6 months, you can double that. And within a year, you can triple the results you're going to get, because you have to do an incredible job for someone to call you back when you're not staying in touch with them. So that's been a tremendous source. And I think once you see, I know Arizona is the last of the 3 states, once you get involved in that VAC 2.0, you're going to see how much that's going to help you with that too.
Yeah.
You're getting excited about that. So good.
Heck yeah.
Okay, good. So anything else you want? So you do a tremendous job on your repeat and referral business, and you've got them all lined up, and you stay in touch with them, and you probably have them all in newsletters. You mail them individual stuff, handwritten notes too, probably.
Yeah. The other thing that we try to do too is, everybody on our team has a different either demographic or kind of, I don't want to say like just where they hang out, or just their certain type of friends or family or influences or whatever. So the other thing, before COVID anyways, I really tried to get them to get into like a group of people. So Monica, our transaction coordinator, who's also a sales agent, she is from Nebraska. So I tried to get her, and she played golf, and she, did the sports thing in college as well. So I really try to push like, hey, go find a Nebraska group that live in Arizona. I know she works with investors that are in Nebraska that buy out this way. So she's got her kind of group of people that she deals with a lot. Jeremy is killing it right now. I love having him on our team. He's less than a year in the business, and he's already done like 12 deals, I think. So I'm hoping he can get Rookie of the Year this year for the company.
That would be great. Yeah, he's doing good. Now tell them what he did before this.
He was with Wells Fargo.
Right.
He was I think he did business sales or something regarding, something like, but he's super charismatic, really fun to get along with, has a great personality. And he's not afraid to make mistakes, which is my favorite thing. He's not the type to, wait for, and this is one of the things that bothers me about some new agents. It's like, hey, I'm not going to do this open house because I haven't got my business card yet, or I haven't done this, or my flyers aren't perfect. Or Jeremy's like, I'm just going to get out there and do it. And if it doesn't work, it doesn't work, but I'm not afraid to fail, and I'm not afraid to get rejected.
Great attitude, yeah.
Yeah, so that's been awesome, and he's doing really, really well, and he's fun to, mentor. And I went to high school with him, so we've got a long-term relationship. So it's been really, really fun for that. And then Brittany, our other team member, grew up in Scottsdale, and she's got a really cool, more higher end sphere, and so she's done some really big deals for her deal, just getting started. But so I kind of just like to have our hand in a lot of different areas in different parts of town. And
she was at my Success Series when she took it for the first time, when she got her first check. Remember, I brought it out? Yeah, that was great.
Yeah.
And it was a good size check. I saw it. I was like, do you mind if I see that for a minute?
So she's doing really well, and we just have a good group of people. Aside from real estate, they're just good-hearted, just great people, and that's what I like. And I think we can keep growing that way, just being a good person at the end of the day. And but yeah, so we try to. I'm a big watch person. If you guys don't know me, I like my watches.
I see your posts.
couple watch groups, and that to me, that's something that we can not talk real estate, talk something else, but I enjoy doing. And, real estate just kind of gets into the conversation, and we start talking and hanging out. And that next thing you know, that someone's like, hey, how's the market? Thinking about selling or thinking about buying, all that kind of stuff. So that's been cool too. So just a lot of networking groups, and I'm big into that kind of stuff.
Yeah, and you guys are still able to do open houses in Arizona.
Yeah, we haven't done one. I haven't done one in a couple.
But you guys
months.
been busy.
Yeah, well, we got busy, and I think Brittany was supposed to be doing one this weekend on our new listing, but it's sold, so we're probably not going to do anything on that.
Shucks.
I know.
I hate when you get an offer, when you get 5 offers on a property and it sells overnight. It can ruin your whole day.
We had 20 showings on that property in 2 days.
Yeah, and you had to cancel some of them after that too, didn't you?
We're still canceling. We're still getting showing requests, and we're canceling. I mean, I'm going to go over there right after this and get something signed. But it's a good problem to have. But it just shows the craziness of our market right now, and we got to take advantage of it.
Yeah, I know. When I talk to agents and they go, "Well, with what's going on, I can't call people." I go, "What?
Yeah,
you can." I go, "Here's what I remember about prospecting. No matter what was going on when I prospected, I always got somebody mad at me every day. Now the reason they got mad at you has just changed."
Yeah.
But look at remember who's looking for people who aren't moving. Oh, you're not looking for them, so it doesn't really matter what they say. You're going to be professional, but and you guys are really good about that. You have a proactive, high energy. Everybody's always doing something. But other than let's say your sphere and some open houses and so forth, I know a couple of didn't you have Brittany doing old expires for a while?
Yeah, she was door knocking as well. So we started getting her door knocking, and she came up with a newsletter for her little where she lived, like her little neighborhood. So she's actively talking to her neighbors, and Monica's doing the same thing as well, actually. So they kind of got their market in their neighborhood, and they've been hitting that hard and trying to. I mean, I don't think they've done a whole lot lately with all that. Monica's actually on vacation. I think Brittany was too. Everyone's gone. It's just me and Jeremy and my dad hanging out. But
well, dude, you're in July in Arizona. It's 120 degrees. Everybody leaves, except you and I. We're stuck here. Well, you got your great situation happening in 6 weeks. You got the 6-week countdown.
I know, it's crazy. So we're getting the house ready and getting my mindset ready to take on this little dude.
Yep.
We're excited.
Oh, I remember my first son, who just graduated from UConn and now was accepted to UConn Law, is going back. So yeah, he's 24, and but you'll have all those great memories, my man. It's good, just starting.
Yeah.
So all right, so let's say we have, and I always have to ask this question. You've been my interview at Success Series too, so you know what's coming. All right, so you're brand new, or you want to bring your business to the next level. What are the 3 most important things you tell them to focus on?
First thing, treat it like a business. And I think when I first started, I just assumed that people would just randomly call me, or just sit at the office and things would happen. But a true business has, their sales side of things, their accounting side of things, their, just kind of the whole works of it. So if you really think of it as a business, like you're running your own business, you are in business for yourself, I think that changes your mindset of like, hey, I have to do this certain things, or I have to stay organized, or I have to, like make your list of stuff you have to do. And I think that, for one, changed my whole mindset of like, and I know Mark Stark did a class or did something on like, he talked to us about people actually selling their real estate business.
Yes.
And a few teams actually do that. Nobody ever, in my opinion, no one really thinks about getting into real estate to sell their real estate business. And for me, I thought that was like a huge turning point of like, hey, maybe one day I don't want to do this anymore, or we don't want to do this anymore. And it's worth, we can put a value on our business itself. So get everything in place, and your, processes, and write everything down, and get your books in place. Like, just create an actual business to potentially sell one day. Maybe we won't ever do that. But I think that alone right there changes your whole mindset of like, okay, I'm running a business. I'm taking this serious. It's not, a lot of people get into this business to think, oh, I'm gonna have so much time on my hands, and I can work from home, and I can, do this and that, which you can. But the successful ones get to the office, they make their calls, they follow up, they, go on appointments, and that's
Right.
kind of the most important thing, in my
I
opinion. And
love that one. So treat it like a real business, and I think that's exciting too because
yeah,
you're a walking, talking business. Even the government allows you to be an independent contractor. It's an incredible business just because of that. But there's also all kinds of other things as well that make it incredible. All right. So number one, treat it like a business. It's a mindset. Okay. What's
yeah.
your second one?
Two, I would say don't take things personal,
I
and
was
that's
going to guess that that was going to be it. Because remember the story you told. Tell them that
yeah.
story about
So
You were just talking about this at Success Series. Then you got in your car, and what happened?
yeah, so that is not to take things personal is a very hard thing to do. In theory, it's easy just to brush things off, and um, but that's really hard. So a good example, I've got a few examples of that of not taking things personal. First off, you're in the middle of an emotional transaction, both sides, buyer, seller, whoever you're representing. It's either, a lot of money involved and it's someone's house. So there's emotions flying everywhere and you kind of have to be the middle person. And, so that part one is not taking that part too personal. But when people don't use you, everybody knows somebody that sells real estate, and you can't take it personal when they decide to use somebody else, or maybe they knew a family member that does it. And so, but a good example for me is, well, one of my best friends, or is my best friend, went to college with him. He was my roommate. His older brother ended up buying and selling, and we're super close. I mean, I'm really close with the whole family. And he ended up, initially, we were helping him buy years ago, 5, 6 years ago, wrote an offer on something, didn't get accepted, or we went under contract and then we canceled. And then he ended up buying something else that he just found on a whim and called the sign. And so we kind of got out of that deal. So we were like, okay, 3, 4 years later, we'll stay in touch and hopefully he'll list and buy with us. Well, he ended up listing with somebody else. He sold for 700 and bought for like 1.5. And I have to go to the house and say, congratulations. And, we're still friends and I love you guys. But those are the ones where you're like, don't take it personal. It's not against us. It's just either the timing or the situation where he was at or whatever, that got to move on and get the next one. So those are the tough ones. But you got to just move on and keep trucking away.
Yeah, and I think that that's such a great example too, because your family and friends are the worst at it because they know you. They think, well, I'm not going to hurt his feelings because he knows me. We're pals. They don't understand because remember, people are only doing what they think is best for them at the time. I used to tell myself every morning, people don't wake up this morning and go, okay, how can we screw with Rick Berube today? They don't do that, or Curtis Mitchell. They don't do that.
Yeah.
But it's really easy to take personally when you're in the heat of it.
Yeah, and my dad has a harder time than I do. He takes things to heart when people don't use us or whatever. But I just got to remind him and the new agents too. Is just like, hey, don't take it personal. It's not an attack against you. It's just their situation, and maybe they felt obligated to use a family member that does 3 deals a year or something. And you know what? Just got to move on and
roll with it.
Yeah, so that's a really tough one though, especially for new agents that aren't very experienced, and because there's a lot of emotion involved and it's a lot of money.
Yeah, it is. You said it perfectly. It's a lot. You're in the middle of an emotional situation, and your job is to stay calm and do a great job. Awesome. So number two, don't take it personally. How about number three, my man?
To me, I'm a really big goal setter, whether that's personal goals or business goals or whatever they are. So I think just setting yourself some goals and having accountability with coaching or with your manager or team, I think that's been really big for me this year, is just having the team accountable and holding me accountable. And I'm a big team player, and playing sports my whole life, like that's really important to me. So having a team this has been our best year ever. And I think I really attribute a lot of that to having the team. And, you have a different mindset when people are relying on you, and then you kind of set everyone else up for success as well. So we do a lot of goal setting, and we talk almost every day about, how everything's going, and did you hit your goals for the week, or how are we doing this year, blah, blah, blah. So I think that's been pretty key. So if you're new in the business, you're just getting started, set yourself a goal to either talk to, a certain amount of people a day, or setting appointments for the week. And then, if you can do your daily, you can call your daily activities, your week's going to turn into, good weeks, and then it's going to be a good month, and it's going to be a good year. So
right.
Just set your daily activities and try to stick to it. And obviously nobody's perfect, and you never really hit your goals for the year. Typically, I mean, a lot of times you fall short, but it's still better than, what you were the year before. Or
yeah.
Just getting started.
Well, you got to have the thing to shoot from. And being from sports, I know I'm the same way. I think, you have a goal and you want to achieve it, and you always make it a stretch goal. It depends on what personality style you are. Sometimes analyticals don't want to make it too much of a stretch, or they feel like they're lying to themselves. But, if you ever want to listen to a great book about setting goals and stretch goals, the 10X by Grant Cardone is a great one. It's on YouTube for free. My favorite prize. There it is, the 10X rule. This was not planned, folks. I have to tell you.
Yeah, we got books here at the office, and that's so funny you said that, because we just keep a few here just to.
That's a great book.
Yeah, that's fun.
Talk about what a great attitude he has, too. He has a great attitude. I saw him at a Las Vegas Knights game one night. He was sitting right across the ice from me. Uncle G, as they call him.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I just want to say, obviously, congratulations on the success you've had, and it's been a pleasure working with you. Also, congratulations on this year, and remember, we still have half of it left, which is really cool. And definitely congratulations on your first child coming up here in 6 weeks. That's so exciting, my man. Yes. Well, and the crowd goes crazy. All right, my man. Thanks very much for taking out a half an hour for us this morning. Really appreciate it, buddy.
Awesome.
Keep it rocking. Talk to you soon. Say hi to Marissa, too.
I will.
You got it, buddy.
Thanks.